One of my favorite songs I love to listen to is a song called The Pretender by the band called the Foo Fighters. And I love the Foo Fighters. I think they're a great band. But I love listening to that song. And while we don't know the real meaning of the song, Dave Grohl, the founder and lead singer of the Foo Fighters, once did say this about this song. He said, The Pretender is about all those people who've been disappointed by other people in life, whether it's currently or in the past. They've been disappointed by other people. And so this song is for them. And I love that because I know this. I've been disappointed by other people in my life. And I know that when I'm listening to this song, when I'm running, it makes me run faster, makes me run harder. It gets me motivated because I know I lived through that disappointment. I'm like, I got to run through this. I got to go get through this. Well, while I've been disappointed by a lot of people in my life, one person I haven't been disappointed by was Jesus Christ. Now, I don't say that as a minister, and I don't say that as a person who's lived a perfect life. Because if you know me, and you've watched any of these videos before, I'm pretty open that I've had some real good ups in my life, but I've also had some severe downs in my life as well. If you know me, you know that I am divorced. And you know that I went through a lot of hardships based upon that. And one of those hardships that came out of that divorce was just not the brokenness, but the financial stress that I had in my life too. I had severe debt after that divorce, and it took a lot for me to overcome that. But one person, again, who did not disappoint me was Jesus, because I knew that I could go to Jesus with who I was and who I am, and he's not going to judge me, and I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not, because Jesus sees me for who I am. And one of the verses I love about what Jesus says is found in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. He says this, Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Hey, with Jesus, we don't have to pretend with who we are. We can go to him with who we are, and he will give us rest. We can go with him and tell him our stresses, our worries, our pain, and our suffering. And he will give us rest. Again, when I went through my divorce, I was a minister, and I'm still a minister. And that was really painful for me to go through. And I went through a lot of hardships from that. But Jesus was there, and he was protecting me, and he was guiding me through that situation. Jesus didn't disappoint me there. The other person who I know was never disappointed by Jesus, was never disappointed by God, was a guy named King David. He wrote a lot in the Old Testament and wrote the book of Psalms. And a lot of the book of Psalms is written by him where he just cries out to God, asking him for help. Because King David was the king of Israel. He did a lot of great things. But David also did a lot of bad things too. He screwed up a lot, And every time he was able just to go out to God and scream to him, literally scream to him sometimes, asking him to help. And, one of the Psalms that he wrote was Psalm 40. And actually the band U2 took that psalm, and made a song out of it. It's called 40, go figures, out of Psalm 40. But in it, this is what King David writes. He says this, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me up out of the slimy pit. Out of the mud and mire, he set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. God will guide you through those tough times. We don't have to pretend to be someone we're not with God. He can guide us and bring us up into a sure and firm foundation that's centered around him. The thing is, we just have to go to him and cry out to him. Again, I think a lot of times we think about Jesus, we know him, that he's this great person, he's God, and he's done some great things, miraculous things. But we don't trust him to lead us through that tough time. And while other people are going to disappoint us, Jesus, when we go to him, he'll carry our burden with us. He'll guide us through that time and lead us to higher ground. It may not happen overnight or just that snap of a finger, but it is going to happen, and God is going to guide you. Jesus is going to lead you through it. So my encouragement for you is this. Stop pretending. Go to Jesus and ask him to help you, guide you, and lead you. Unload your burdens to him. Like what I do when I run, or what David does when he's writing these Psalms. He unloads the burden to God and to Jesus. And what we can do is we can unload that to him and allow God to just carry us through. I know that God's going to carry you through no matter what struggle you're going through, what tough time you're going through. The key is to trust him and to go to him. So do that today. That's your encouragement. And if you've got stories about how God has guided you through it or how Jesus has led you through a tough time and carried you through it, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Definitely put it in the comment section below, or you can just email me at tomp@newlife.church. In fact, if you've got questions too, you can either put it below in the comment section or put it on an email, tomp@newlife.church. I would love to hear from you. All right, may God bless you. May God guide you. I can't wait to see you next time for another video. Have a great week, everyone.